TV Crazy Man here. In this video, I take you through Car 54. Where are you?
Car 54, where are you?
With some super funny goofs from one of the most hilarious shows of the early 1960s, and lots of amazingly awesome fun trivia facts. Can you guess the name of the Car 54 actor that was into wrestling, weightlifting, and martial arts? He once broke Robert Redford's nose. Plus, why did Car 54 have so much in common with the Phil Silver's Sgt Bilko show? And lots more.
What are you guys, mice or men?
In the episode, The Taming of Lucille, I think the fabric of space and time is unraveling. Keep your eye on the phone as Gunther talks to his wife Lucille.
Ow! Lucille! What is it? Quiet.
So while Gunther is pretending to still have Lucille on the other line, the phone itself seems to change back and forth from a 60s phone to a 1930s phone.
No bowling tonight, fellas. Don't ask me why. I'm too upset.
You know, if you look into the series, one of the frequent storylines was mind games and the effects of gaslighting on groups of people. I wonder if they were playing mind games with us on this one.
You're probably imagining a lot of things that don't even happen.
A man named Robert L. Ripley dared us to believe it or not.
Captain, don't you realize the horror of it? Two of your men merging as one brain.
I wish I could have found a clip where that was actually happening. Sometimes on the show, you could tell that they would record from two different camera angles and then put it together.
Some girl just lonesome for someone who can understand her.
Well...
For some reason, they spelled Toody's name different here.
Getting to be a regular golden treasury of useless information.
Do you mind?
Am I the only beautiful woman in the whole world?
In this angle, Gunther and the movie star are sitting where their shoulders overlap, and then for the close-ups, they appear spread out.
Oh, excuse me, Miss Tangiers.
In this episode, this genius Boy Scout helps the police solve crimes. Can you imagine being a kid and working with these guys and not cracking up?
Ask him about the convertible debenture. Now, what about the convertible debenture? Marvin, we haven't Ask him about the convertible debenture. Now, what about the convertible debenture? Marvin, we haven't
I'm your brother.
It's true, Leo.
In this scene, Al Lewis keeps going back and forth from a totally glazed over look to a blinking and nodding and back again.
They'll ruin everything we knew and loved.
Over my dead body.
In this episode, the crooks can't seem to connect their punches.
If it wasn't for you, Sergeant Little, I would have left him for good years ago.
Wait, what'd she say? That's Sergeant McBride, played by Jimmy Little, not Sergeant Little.
If it wasn't for you, Sergeant Little.
And now for Car 54, where are you? The facts. The series had various different intros, each with a different gag. There was the handcuffs gag,
Car 54.
the ice cream salute, the crazy kissing bandit mask, lunch,
Car 54, where
the snake charmer, the spider, and sunglasses gag.
are you?
The show's two main stars were Joe E. Ross as Toody Gunther and Fred Gwynne as Francis Muldoon. Ross brought over his ooh, ooh, ooh catchphrase from the Phil Silver show, also known as Sgt Bilko.
There they are. Ooh, we saw them. Right this way, Mike. Ooh, it's one of them. It's one of them. I'll tell them to go. Ooh, 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 ooh. Here's the turkey. Ooh, 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 ooh. I just remembered. Ooh, do you mind? Do you mind? Ooh, wait, I got a better idea. Ooh, wait till I tell Lucille. Ooh, ooh. Will you shut up? Ooh, ooh. Do you mind? Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, Henry, you nitwit! Ah! Three.
I read that Ross started his ooh, ooh catchphrase after he was trying to remember his lines once and he needed a second or two. And, of course, his second catchphrase was, do you mind?
Do you mind? Do you mind? Do you mind? Do you mind? Do you mind? Do you mind? Do you mind?
You must say these words. Klaatu, Barada, Nikto.
Did you know that Ross actually deciphered what Klaatu, Barada, Nikto means?
Klaatu, Nikta, Baroda.
Well, almost.
It means crispy crunchies are good for you.
Ross's next TV series was It's About Time, where he played a caveman in a world that looked a lot like Gilligan's Island. It even had the same laugh track and music cues. Ross's TV wife, played by Beatrice Pons from Sgt Bilko, followed him over to Car 54 as his wife with a different name.
Gunther, are you out of your mind?
Nat Hiken created Car 54 and wrote for the show. He'd previously produced the Phil Silvers Show in New York, otherwise known as Sgt Bilko. Hiken recruited many of the old Bilko stars for Car 54. Joey Ross, of course, was a regular, and Fred Gwynne had appeared twice on the Bilko show, and other actors from the show were Paul Reed, Al Lewis, Charlotte Ray, Jimmy Little, Jack Healy, Frederick O'Neill, Martha Greenhouse, Bob Hastings, Billy Sands, and Gerald Hiken.
Of course, movies don't lie. They're not allowed to. They got a motion picture code.
Fred Gwynne played Toody Gunther's partner, Francis Muldoon, an intellectual with a long face that was the subject of jokes on the show quite a few times.
Look at me. I'm 6'6", and 5'6" of me is face.
You know something, Francis?
What?
You do have lovely eyes.
You know what they call me in grammar school? Horse face.
And all you're doing is sitting there looking into my lovely eyes. I mean, you're not paying any attention.
What do you see?
I see the same old horse face I've been looking at for the last 10 years.
Rub some cream in my face. It'll be a mess by tonight.
We created a Frankenstein.
Of course, he and Al Lewis would go on to play in the Munsters, whereas Herman, his face would scare almost everybody around him.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Imagine that poor girl coming all the way from Scranton, Pennsylvania and running into this.
Car 54, where are you?
Future Munsters character, Grandpa, actor Al Lewis, of course, played Officer Leo Schnauser. When Lewis first appeared on the series, it was as another character named Al Spencer. Officer Schnauser didn't show up until episode 13. Put it in the bank.
This is Patrolman Leo Schnauser again. My wife's got me talking to myself.
Leo's wife was played by Charlotte Ray, best known for the 80s show Facts of Life and Different Strokes.
Of course, you know my conditions. $1,000 a week, my choice of leading man, my choice of director.
One of my favorite episodes featuring both characters was What Happened to Thursday. You see, every Thursday, Leo gets in a fight with his wife, so Officer Toody gets the idea of convincing Leo that Thursday is Friday, and before long everyone has skipped a day. It goes to show you just can't believe everything you read in the paper. The episode is basically a giant case of gaslighting.
And then that movie, Gaslight.
A term I believe was coined back in '38 with a play and then a popular movie in 1944. Now this is a hilarious, brilliant episode. It just makes you wonder, how easy is it to convince a mass audience a false narrative? It's actually kind of scary when you think about it. Al Lewis would one day return to his role as an older Leo, along with the other original actor from the series, Nipsey Russell, on the 1994 Car 54 movie that is best described as disappointing.
Car 54, where are you?
Can you guess which of the regular cast of Car 54 was into weight training, nutrition, and martial arts, and is still alive today at 92 years old? He's been on Dukes of Hazzard, Max Headroom, Airwolf, Knight Rider, Dragnet. He's done voice work on Garfield and G.I. Joe. He accidentally broke Robert Redford's nose on the movie 3 Days of the Condor. He thought Redford was going to have him fired, but he just laughed it off, and apparently Redford thought that the fight scene turned out great. It's Hank Garrett who played Officer Ed Nicholson on Car 54.
Nicholson. Have you ever been to his house? He's got 5 kids, a screaming wife, and a barking dog.
I'm a single man.
You're a
You know, to this day, no one knows for sure if Ed Nicholson was married and had kids or if he was indeed a bachelor. Things like this create more Mandela effects.
He's got 5 kids, a screaming wife, and a barking dog.
Now, Garrett grew up poor, and he ran around with a gun in his pocket at the age of 12. And wildly enough, the mayor of Harlem introduced him to Sammy Davis Jr., who gave him a job and set him straight. Davis said to Garrett when Garrett was only 12, "So you're a tough guy. You know tough guys only wind up with broken bones and scars. The way you're headed, you're going to end up in prison or die."
4 years we've been together, you bum. And never once, you bum, have you come to my house for dinner, bum.
When Garrett got an audition with Nat Hiken, Nat looked at him and said, "You're Ed Nicholson," right off the bat, you know. And to which Garrett replied, "No, I'm Hank Garrett." Hiken replied back, "Just the kind of dummy I'm looking for. You're hired."
That's the stupidest thing as I've ever heard.
Captain Block was played by Paul Reed.
What, are you signing in or are you writing a novel?
Poor Captain Block. He had such a wacky precinct to run.
That's slavery!
Come on, Charlie.
This precinct is falling apart.
Reed passed away in 2007, living to the age of 97 years old. He was happily married to the same woman for nearly 60 years. There were some famous faces that came through the show, like David Doyle from Charlie's Angels, Dana Elcar from MacGyver, and Tom Bosley from Happy Days. But my favorite of the bunch was Larry Storch, who went on to play on another favorite show of mine, F Troop.
Stop! Who says I'm dumb? Happy New Year! Hey, guard, where are you going? To spread the word in that temple of wickedness!
Storch did a lot of funny bits on alcohol and drinking. On Car 54, he appeared as Charlie the Drunk. Charlie only needed to pretend to drink to get drunk.
Like that for a dime. Boom, boom, boom. All glass. Turn it by, you're shot free. Boom! The Lorelei Lounge. There's a good bar. That bar's got heart.
Repent, you sinners, repent! Sit down that bottle of demon rum! Don't give in to temptation!
He did have a great way with words, though.
Not during our month-end sale. I said, here comes Jane, and she looks pale.
What's going on?
You got your shack back!
I gotta meet a fellow. It's really business. Believe me, fellas, it's business. I gotta have a shot. You guys are killing me like this, Charlie. Come on.
Storch was on Car 54 4 times. He played Charlie 3 times and a crook named Pinky once. Did you know that Joey Ross appeared as Mr. Hyde on Larry Storch's Saturday morning TV series, The Ghostbusters, in 1975? Did you know they painted the police cars red to avoid anyone thinking it was a real police car? Thankfully it didn't matter as the show was in black and white.
A man of your age shouldn't be reading comic books.
These ain't ordinary comic books.
Did you know Car 54 had its own comic book series? Lasted about 7 issues. Well, that's about all the time I have in this video. I appreciate you taking the time to watch it until the end. Please leave a comment and share your thoughts or memories on Car 54 Where Are You? Please hit like as well to help out the video. Check out my other channel featuring my original animation on the Frady Cat Cartoons channel. And on the TV Crazy Man channel, which is where you're at right now, check out all my other videos on classic television. Thanks again and have a great day.
Ooh, ooh.